time where most of you are planning on leaving the house. You're headed somewhere, maybe for a breakfast meeting. You're probably an MC in a very important, ceremony this morning. You're rushing for an interview, probably just taking your child to school real quick. Maybe it's your first day at work. We're all trying to beat traffic in one way or another. Thank you very much for arising with us. You are watching Look Up TV, and we're now live on Facebook. Please join us there. We're going to get deeper into a very important conversation around road safety, as we do every morning from 7 to 8 a.m. on Mondays to Friday. Now, what is going on the roads as we are speaking? Are you on the major roads of Nairobi? Are you experiencing some sort of traffic? Are you in Bungoma County, Wajir, Kisumu City, Mombasa City, Nakuru City? Are you watching us from whichever part of the world? What is the infrastructure we can borrow from you? Talk to me. If you also want to talk to authorities, let me know at Look Up TV via @Mathri hashtag The Morning Drift. Now, what is beginning us off this morning is the very crazy traffic this morning. From as early as 5 a.m., Kenyans were on Twitter talking about some really crazy traffic. Some of my guests as well sent me some beats of messages here and there talking about, I hope I make it on time. There's some really serious traffic this morning. So remember, be that defensive driver, be the patient one, be the sober one, and make sure that even as there's traffic, you are still the driver that you ought to be. Now, Thika Road, Imanzia Safari Park, the traffic jam at Thika Road vividly isn't very, very favorable this morning. So from Safari Park, that is at the pedestrians number 6, saying Thika Road at 7:41 from Safari Park is crazy. All right, let's take a look at other roads. Remember, I'm using @Mathri as the handle to update me this morning, so you can as well follow them and tag @LookUpTV and follow us as well. Well, people are also crazy this morning. Jazzy Matharu is saying, can you please stop the matatu madness? And of course, we continue to talk about madness every morning from our drivers. Matatus are on the spot, boda-bodas are on the spot. What is going on? All right, let's take a look again. There's somebody driving on the pedestrian path. Interesting. Vividly, they are doing it right on a, broad daylight. Okay, is this where we have gotten to when it comes to road safety? So we have here a highlight by Owele Robert saying, just this morning at 7:23, allow me, KCV 829H, Yosako, driving on the pedestrian footpath, Juja Road. At NTSA Kenya, I hope you can follow Mathri, so we have this in order. I will not take too long today, but of course, there is Kware heading to Tasia and Bakassi, that we have already highlighted this morning. Let's take a look at Thika Road. What is going on Thika Road? Someone is asking the same question, Barabara Ziko Aje this morning. Let's see. Of course, just to let you know, there are works that are ongoing. And Kura Roads is, of course, the handle to follow. At Kura Roads, there are roads working, ongoing construction, those particular roads. You need to be very keen on those. Now, Rosters Hadi Guru Nanak Kameshikana sana early this morning. So at Brian Yego, thank you very much. Kama unatumia nje ya Rosters Hadi Guru Nanak Kameshikana sana. That means there is traffic building up there. Now that's 8th Thika Road at its worst. Pardon me for that. That is at Miriam Njoki, letting us know Thika Road is at its worst this morning. So, okay, now that I did not expect, but there is some very, very big, someone is saying a very big load right there at the Eastern Bypass as at yesterday, and of course this morning is still being seen. This might not be very clear, but I want you to give me the updates on this particular situation at the Eastern Bypass. This was there, the Eastern Bypass yesterday, seemingly still there in the morning. Have the authorities done anything about it? Let me know if it's causing any sort of traffic or distraction this morning. We're going to delve deeper into some discussion on the Boda-boda operations, and I'd love you to be part of this discussion. People have said over and over again, to Boda-boda, it's either they're just bike movers or they have an attitude or some behavioral change needs to be done. Today I'm here with road safety experts and enthusiasts who really want to talk about boda-boda safety, and they say helmet ni lazima. for a very long time. It's been their campaign. But as much as they've been talking about it, is it working? Are the Boda-boda operators even concerned about their own safety? Right here on The Arrival Live, I will sit down, the bumper will roll, and then we will unveil them shortly. Good morning. It's good to have you on set. We're very, very excited by your presence.
A pleasure.
Elijah Omugo, you've been here before.
Yeah, it's like home to me. Yeah.
It's like home. Please say good morning to the viewers.
Which camera is it?
That camera.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kenya. We hope you have a blessed and a safe day and trip to work here.
Blessed and safe, so you actually have to be safe. You have no choice to say that you're safe or safe, because when you're safe, we all are safe.
Exactly.
Nice jacket. You're all about Kenya today.
Thank you very much. We're passionate about this country.
Thank you. Victor?
Yeah,
Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Please say good morning.
Good morning, Kenya. My name is Victor. I'm road safety expert, and I'm much happy to be with you today to discuss things about traffic rules and road safety. Asanteni sana.
Karibuni. I was actually going to ask you where your helmets are.
Yeah, you see, the person who spreads the word doesn't really necessarily have. We're driving today, so we didn't come with the bikes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've been on the road with the bikes as well.
Yes, yes.
Now, it's been one of those things now Kenyans are calling menace. Yet, it is one of the cheapest and fastest means of transport for any common mananchi.
Yeah, it's convenient as well. Yeah.
It's convenient.
Yeah.
And also, it's putting a lot of, it's helping a lot of people put food on the table.
Exactly.
So for some reason, I don't think doing away with Boda-boda would work for us.
True.
But then, what about the road safety? You guys are campaigning about helmet ni lazima. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
What are the recommendations? Let's not even talk about what they're not doing right. Today, let's just talk about the answers to the problems that we are facing on road safety when it comes to Boda-boda operators. Yeah,
I mean, okay, as at Helmet Lazima, we believe just like the windscreen of the car cannot live without it. So what we're doing is we basically just over and over creating awareness, pushing conversations that go towards people getting into a habit of wearing a helmet before they leave with the bike. Because what happens is the bike's accidents are in a split second. So just right there in front of your house when you're leaving, you could get an accident, and we are trying to avoid the issue of the head getting exposed to sharp objects, getting exposed to hard technical obstacles on the road.
Yes.
So we believe it's been proven and tested through research that having the helmet limits your chances of getting a head injuries and also dying by about 90%. But
as you're speaking of that, you do know, Victor and Elijah, that Kenyans are saying their pockets are not, very familiar with the amount of money that you mean should actually give them these helmets. So we're seeing a lot of lollipops. We want to talk about the lollipops, right? And then we can compare them with the original helmets.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say thank you for this opportunity.
Terrible.
And as a road safety expert and also a member of Helmet Lazima, I think that when Kenyans say that their pockets are not friendly for this, and we cannot compare life with the finance and anything. So it is our responsibility, and it is each and every person's responsibility to take an initiative. Even if it is expensive, let's try to save or do anything, or as a circle, because these Boda-boda riders, they have circles.
Okay.
They can get this cash from there so that they get quality helmet, and also make sure each and every pillion passenger plus the rider have the quality helmet. Because at the end of the day, when they cause an accident, you won't say, because we won't compare these injuries with the finance, because you will use more finance, in terms of more money, in terms of bill, hospital bill, and whatever, to make you heal because of maybe 7,000, because of maybe 10,000.
Okay.
So that one we cannot advocate for that.
So you cannot attach value to life. So there's no excuse of I don't make enough money. He talked about the pillion.
Yeah.
But with COVID-19, it's still a conversation. Also, the sizable helmets for children, which are the most common pillions anyway. I don't know what you have to say about the pillions helmet.
Yeah.
Most Boda-boda pool don't even have it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an issue of information. We're trying to push as much information as possible out there. About the different sizes of helmets, we have realized different suppliers. We have, like, for example, Nairobi Power Bikes on Langata Road. They have taken the initiatives of bringing the small helmets for the children, and also all the way different sizes to the ones for adults.
Okay.
And they can also make an order for you whenever you want something that they don't have on stock. So it's not an issue of not finding it. It's an issue of having the interest of going out there to get it.
All right, now I want to bring to your attention a tweet that is trending not long ago. It's just been a few days ago, and it's from the activist, Boniface Mwangi. He's an activist, you know, so he's going to bring these things out a lot.
He's been supporting us a lot.
He has been supporting you a lot. Okay, so he says he's the people's watchman, and this did catch my eye. No wonder we're having this conversation today. It's actually unfortunate to see that this is very, I don't know what level of accident this is. If you look at this bike, you know, is it the front part?
It's the front part. Front part is a write-off already.
Okay.
That means the impact was
so high.
Yeah.
So high.
It
and
was head-on.
you probably did not survive.
Yeah.
Probably did not survive. If you had a helmet, you could probably have fractures, but the head would still be safe to be able to explain whatever he's feeling. But if you didn't have the helmets, then the chances are very limited that he stays alive.
All right, so he says dead. That's what the tweet says, dead, just like that.
Yeah,
Boda-bodas have become coffins on two wheels. Our hospitals are overwhelmed with the casualties. The government should ensure every rider is properly trained and enforce wearing of motorbike helmets, not those plastics they wear. Okay? Now I'm going to read this tweet in totality. And of course, not those plastics that they wear, we must stop this carnage. I want to hear your responses first on the tweet before we go into, you know, the replies. So
let me talk about the training part of it, because I'm well conversant with the training. There's the People's Watchman have just talked about proper training, and we have realized that our Boda-boda riders, a great percentage, like 90, they are not being trained. They don't understand traffic rules. They don't understand when I'm on the road, on which side should I use, how do I behave myself when I'm riding. And that's where the problem is coming from. Proper training. So you just find people, because knowing how to drive, it will take you like 10 minutes or 1 week to drive, and then you start having people on the road. But we don't understand the rules and regulations, and that's where the problem comes from.
But now it's been years with the same problem. Elijah, what is the solution? Isn't this part of your campaign?
Yeah, you see, we are pushing, first of all, apart from the safety gear, we are pushing for proper training, because just knowing how to ride still makes you a big hazard to the other road users. Like, for example, if you look at that tweet, there's a yellow line there. We just don't really know exactly what direction it was taking, but you can see that if the bike was probably facing the other side where the cars are going, then if we find him on this other side of the yellow line, then there was an issue with overtaking right there. And all that you can only get when you go to a driving school. You can only get that information if someone informed tells you about the traffic rules. So I think, first of all, apart from the safety gear, there's also the dire need to get a lot of the Boda-boda riders properly trained on traffic rules, so that they know how to use this shared space, because basically the road is a shared space. And when you're using a shared space, you need to have a lot more information to know how to use it collectively with the other people.
Now let's just read a bit of the feedback so that you understand this campaign you're doing is very important to all Kenyans, not just to you guys, not just to me, but Kenyans are really speaking out as we're speaking on the Boda-boda issue. And I can see at Lillian, of course Lillian Akoth tweet read, I had an encounter with a Boda-boda guy. He was riding on the speeding lane at a lower speed than cars. Now you want to talk about the speeding as well. I told him he kept on making glaring mistakes, trying to change lanes carelessly, and he told me I'm driving
the rubbish of a car.
Okay, let me talk about just the speeding lane.
Yes.
Just that one will just take us back to the training still, because a Boda-boda rider don't know that at what time should I use a particular lane.
Because of training.
But why don't they, you know, but our question is still, why are they on the roads if they do not know that? Are they licensed?
They are not licensed.
Okay.
Most Boda-boda riders, they are not licensed. 90% of them, they are not licensed. And you can only be licensed when you are trained.
When you go to a proper driving school to get the training, So the issue now is, first of all, getting, because there's a huge chunk, over the past 5 to 10 years, there's a huge chunk of the riders who've been training on school compounds, training at public spaces all over, and getting a bike and just going on the road like this. So I think it's more of a multi-organizational approach, because also there are all these companies selling bikes, and there are all these companies giving loans to buy bikes. All these people, they need to insist on having the license of the rider before issuing the purchase of the bike, the logbook of the bike. Because what happens is there are so many bikes being bought, but there are not so many licenses being issued out there. Like you find at Victor's driving school, you find just a little bit of requests for Boda-boda training. Most people think it's just the car that needs a proper license.
And a proper driver. So the schools are there, the institutions are in place, including your driving school, but nobody is interested in learning or getting trained for Boda-boda operations. And allow me to read more tweets. Remember, this is a tweet by of course, the activist Boniface Mwangi on Twitter, and we're going into now how important it is for those helmets and where they can purchase it. And of course, AFCON was replying to that tweet, and at NTSC_Kenya as well, tagged them, saying how Jamaa, and he means the Boda-boda operators, Hudhani every road footpath corridors nizao. Footpaths, and they're properly trained, but their personalities can't allow them to reason. Now that was a very outstanding, remark for me, and I don't know, you're actually laughing. I don't know what you have to say about personalities and attitudes.
There's the mob mentality, and also quorum perspective that a lot of people have in this Boda-boda sector. You see, mostly in Kenya, when you have something that so many people are in, that evidently there's been trouble regulating, then everyone comes into that sector. People with good habits, people with good manners and bad manners, people from different backgrounds. There are also so many who are hiding behind there. They're bad people hiding behind the Boda-boda.
They call them goons. And most Boda-boda people have been classified there for a long time.
Because even themselves, they have not really shown a lot of effort into working with the security forces to be able to bring the ones who are tainting their image to justice.
So are we calling out to the Boda-boda members, because we have also been here with the NTSA Kenya that mentioned proper training for the Boda-boda people, having them identified with their areas where they stop by and do their business. So we're talking about them taking the responsibility and initiative among themselves.
And apart from that, let me just say something about apart from because our Boda-boda riders, they are not passionate and they don't have interest in going to school. So that's why Helmet Lazima, through this campaign, we will be able to educate them the importance, so that they see the importance of going to training school so that they be licensed. And that's what we are also doing under Helmet Lazima, and also some school like Boda-boda training school, like Extra Skill Training but Institute, that I operate in Kajiado County, Twala.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is people voluntarily wanting to make a change in this country. That's what we've been missing. A lot of Kenyans think something is none of their business until it touches them. So we need to have a voluntary interest in fixing the country. Everyone, not just collectively from the top. We need to have everyone wanting to take responsibility of the life of the other person that is on the road apart from themselves. Because a lot of accidents you find normally happen because everyone wants to go fast. Whenever there's a situation, there's a small space, everyone wants to be the first person to go in from there. The very few people would want to leave another person to go so that we get that order.
And it's very interesting because now the Boda people are, they seem to be having an upper hand because they can just swerve in, which is very dangerous. They can maneuver. And no wonder Kenyans who are also watching take those Boda-bodas real quick and say, Nicolette, and there's traffic. So the Boda-boda person just moves around. And let's take a look at another tweet still on this discussion. Depending on that particular accident, you can refer to it at at Boniface Mwangi's Twitter handle, official Twitter handle. And at Dandem says, I don't agree referring to that accident. We're looking at what the cause of the accident is. And he says the accidents are not about the type of bike, but the actions of the rider. Also for cars and buses, etc. Exactly. And that's what you have just said, everyone. So it's not just the Boda-boda operators. But of course, let me read this tweet again. At Malcolm Mvon, Rungai, they have very interesting handles, says yes, but considering the lack of discipline on the roads, just best get them out for the safety of everyone. Yeah, the recommendation now is
to get them all out.
Get rid of the Boda-boda operators.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done because now it's gone so much into our lives. Everyone is using them. There's Glovo, we are eating through them. We are doing our businesses through them. So it's not really one of those things that you can just swipe up and say, I mean, we can't really go back to where we were before the Boda-bodas came. The convenience of life, the way they've made things easy, it's just learning to deal with the same way we are dealing with the pandemic. It's already here with us. Now, what do we do? And I think what we need to do is to have a collective approach and understanding towards that sector as well. Which
is, because this is what we're always saying, let's have a collective understanding. Let's reason together. Let's stakeholders take responsibility. But now at Helmet Lazima, can we have 2, 3, 4 pointers on what exactly now needs to be done?
First of all, at Helmet Lazima, we have what is it called? We are trying to cultivate the collective action towards creating solutions. One of the things that we do is we are getting all these Boda-bodas to see, because we go to hospitals to visit the ones who've already had accident and have those injuries. We take small clips, small images of them, and we show to the ones who have not had an accident. Because what we need is a bit of remorse and a bit of sympathy, so that they change the way they just even riding. So we tell them, listen, you uko hapa kwa stage bado uko poa haujaumia. But kuna mtu mwingine already ashafika the other side, ashaumia, hawezi cross back to this side. You as someone who has not umia, utafanya utaride aje, utahandle watu aje kwa barabara, utahandle safety aje, basically all those slots. So we use the ones who've already got into situations to talk to the ones who've not got into situations. We have riders every single day in Kenya, probably more than 1,000. People are being taken into hospitals because either they were a pillion passenger or either there was a rider. Sometimes you find mostly the pillions are very innocent. They don't really know. But as we said, it's a collective responsibility of everyone in the society. It's the Boda-boda rider who is supposed to tell the passenger to where. because it's supposed to take responsibility of the safety of the person they are carrying.
Okay.
Because it's under them. They're the ones who are riding. Sometimes they get accidents. The person who's carried there doesn't even know they are going to have an accident.
The calculation, the awareness, the tactics around the road.
Exactly. It all boils down to training.
All right.
Yeah, they need to get proper training, because the bike is not just about riding. It's also about how safe you are on the road when you're using the bike.
And yesterday when we were here with the cyclists, we talked about intentional cycling, and I like how one of the guests kept saying, at the end of the day, why am I even on the road?
Exactly.
If you're driving as a biker for recreation, you know how to maneuver around. If you are actually, there to transport people, then you have to ensure that they can commute from point A to point B safely. So you can have them commuted from B to A and still make your money, right?
Exactly.
Victor, with the campaigns happening for a while now, have you been able to reach a target? Would you say that it's working for you at the campaign? Or do we? Okay,
I can say that I've not reached the target, but I'm underway. I've been meeting these Boda-boda maybe in their stages, and personally I've been making awareness with their chairman, because when a person is registered under a particular circle, because that's where also we encourage them to register a circle, to be in a circle, so that when we do this campaign, we can get them collectively. Yeah. So we have been trying to reach them through their leaders and talk to them. Before a person registered to a circle, he must be licensed.
Okay.
And through license, which means the person have gone through proper training, and also that the person must have quality helmets, though we have issues with that about the quality helmet. Yeah.
And of course I will ask, which one is the quality helmet? Please tell us more about the quality helmet.
Yeah, there's
I'm sorry to interject. There is the way I have seen somebody do a social experiment, or just an experiment, where they take the lollipop and they take the real one and they crush it. And we actually see the lollipop. So please describe this quality helmet.
Most quality helmets have international homologation, and they are standards. The one in the US is called DOT. There's another one that is called Snell, there's a European one. There's also an Indian one. There are different certifications. Basically, what those companies do is they take a helmet and they take it to a crash test. And then from that crash test, they give a report, and that report is used to certify it. So most helmets that are certified, you'll find a small sticker at the back of the helmet, and that sticker is normally the one that is given after the crash test. So we always tell people, like, for example, if you go to most of these resellers, like for example Nairobi Power Bikes, them they strictly sell just certified helmets. They don't sell the yellow ones.
Okay.
So first of all is either to identify a seller who knows how to identify the proper kind of helmet, and the other way is just physically directly to test it yourself. There's a certain type of weight that you feel, is my brain protected in this thing. Some of them, if you knock it, you can feel the difference. Some of them are just like the yellow ones, they're just plastic. Yeah. And we always tell people, the helmet is so important that you need to know the worth of your brain to know how you protect it. You see, if you have a cheap car, then you don't really want to go into comprehensive insurance, because it's not worth that kind of protection. Okay. So we always say, kama uko na akili na ukushua akili yako ni muhimu, then even the way you protect that akili should be up the scales, you see.
Yes.
So that's what we are also telling these other people wearing the yellow ones, is that wewe unavaa hiki tunapasuka, una akili ya kuprotect. Because hapo ndio umeweka hii skill yote ya kuride, hapo ndio umeweka hii skill yote ya kuhesabu do. Why would you want to take the most cheapest way of protection to take care of it?
And I like how you've put it. Allow me to appreciate those who are following us on Facebook and just read a bit of these comments, which seem to be actually agreeing with most of, your sentiments. And Ruth Onesmus says, very true. Some Boda-boda riders are really careless and seriously don't care about their safety on the roads. It is really worrying to even think of yourself being on top of such a duty with a careless rider. Thank you very much, Ruth Onesimus. And Joyce Kimari has always been loyal to the Arrive Alive segment. Thank you for being part of us on Facebook. She says the industry should be regulated. That's the only way out. Boda-boda is a source of livelihood for so many, and because there are no laws, she says, there are no laws, anyone just can buy a boda and operate a business. Sorry to say, we lose so many lives in this industry. One cannot convince me that it cannot be regulated.
Yeah, it can be regulated. It's just
so why do we say we don't have laws yet? I believe that
we have laws. It's just the issue of now for abiding by them.
Abiding by them.
Because even the helmet, by law, you cannot go to the road without helmet. Just as a vehicle cannot go to the road without windscreen.
So, but according to what you have said about we have law.
Okay.
But we have loopholes. We have loopholes if the boda-boda riders plus everyone, because I know at some point you can be interested to do maybe a business, a boda-boda business.
Yes.
You have your two boda-boda, but you don't care whether the rider is licensed or have a helmet. So you just buy, you are doing business. The boda-boda but also is rushing, riding and maneuvering just to get you cash at the end of the day. So we have the laws, but we have a lot of loopholes. And these loopholes, we can only be able to seal them if each and every person, we take that initiative, you plus employers, plus the security, plus the road safety, everybody, we take this initiative so that we push this talk together, and also we show them, the boda-boda riders, the importance of doing this, because they know and they're just careless and ignorant.
And for some reason there's an attitude, because what you've brought out now clearly, Victor, is there's an boda-boda owner and then there's the boda-boda operator. The one you see most of the time is the operator. And sometimes we need to have a conversation. Maybe I'll go on location sometime and understand how their owners or their employers really treat them. Because maybe we need to have a conversation with the boda-boda owners as well. Edwin Kipkiri saying our roads will be safer once we eliminate the rogue boda-boda and matatu drivers. Yeah, we said we could, it's not all of them that's rogue, and I get Edwin saying the ones that are rogue are the ones we need to get rid of. And I was saying, good morning, Anki tuned in. Let's all strive to make our roads safe. All right, I know we're about to wrap up shortly, and keep sending in your feedback at Look Up TV on Facebook. Would really love to hear from all of you Subaru boys as well, because for some reason the Subaru boys and boda-boda riders altercate a lot, and matatu drivers and boda-boda riders as well. They're always on the spot. As we wrap up, how is the campaign going? There's need for support.
That's actually what I want to go to. We need, as we said, we need the collective effort of all Kenyans, because we are living in this country and the future of it safe is good for all of us. We are running this campaign through volunteers. Everyone who's working on this project is a volunteer. We need support from the people to be able to get to all corners of the country where the boda-bodas are. Because the same problem, we have it in Busia, we have it in Mombasa, we have it in Nairobi, we have it all the way to Wajir, Mandera and all those sides. So we are appealing to the public to help us raise funds to be able to reach as many as possible. It's a public awareness campaign, and we always say it's not only us, even you or your cousin or your brother or your sister is using a boda-boda one way or the other. We are trying to reduce head injuries collectively. So for anyone who's willing to support us, you can reach out to Anki, or you can get to us directly at Helmet Lazima KE on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, Helmet Lazima. What we're trying to do is to push that everyone uses the boda-boda in a safe way. Because those head injuries, I'm telling you the truth, we've been visiting different public hospitals. It's a very desperate situation. You cannot get out of it. You cannot reverse a head injury. You see your arm, you can always put some metal in it and healing to bring it back. But if you have a broken skull, you really, even the best doctor in the whole world cannot really guarantee to bring back your skull to where it was before you had the accident. So we are really pushing to reduce these head injuries, because they are creating situations in the family. Most of these boda-boda writers ni wanatuma do kwa mother, wanatuma do to the wives. A lot of families are really dependent on those bikes, and when they get those accidents, then now the whole kutumado inaisha, it starts getting to mchango, that eventually lead to funerals and stuff like that. So we are appealing to everyone to help support the campaign. Yeah, so that we are able to get the message to everyone. We are also looking for more volunteers because we need to go nationwide. We are looking for help also in the IT, people to help us build websites, to handle our social media handles. So we really appealing to for support, any kind of support from the general public.
Thank you very much, Elijah, for that comprehensive, closing remark.
Thank you
and
very
Victor
much.
as well. You guys are doing an amazing work, and we hope that, of course, I'm sure you guys have stuff like pay bill numbers, but only you have to follow Helmet Lazima, Elijah and Victor in their respective, social media platform handles. And let's hear some good feedback, like just the way Kenyans for Kenyans, get together to, support a particular Kenyan, a particular celebrity. Maybe this time we can see millions, also pushed into Helmet Lazima, because the Boda-boda operators, honestly speaking, are mostly living hand to mouth. And that is the Kenya we have. But what are you doing this morning for your child who'll be using the motorbike, the next morning for school? Maybe it's you would have a quick thing to, reach to or arrive alive to. I think we've had an amazing conversation today on Boda-boda safety. And Boda-boda operators, ni wase, mimi nakuja tu hapo kwa stage yenu. Tuongee, shida iko wapi. But for now, Arrive Alive is where we give you the message of love, all about road safety. Until tomorrow, same place, same time on the segment. If you're a fan of the segment, we'll be here again tomorrow. But we are moving into the big conversation today. I wanted to ask the gentleman about Valentine's, but one is in red, so I'm sure he is. And they're also in black, so they're all Valentine colors.
Men's conference.
Men's conference is black and red is okay. But are you in a relationship or are you in a situationship? A big question for all of us this month. We'll be right back with the panelists to understand situationships in the 21st century. We'll be right back.